Welcome to Idea Success TV. Idea Success TV is your video cast that focuses on trends, practices, and solutions for moving ideas to action for both purpose and profit. Hear stories from people who have taken their ideas and brought them to reality to make an income and to impact the world. Be a part of ideation and pitch sessions. Learn about business trends and discover best practices and innovative ideas for bringing thoughts into reality and plans into action. And now, here's your host, Sylvia Henderson. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Sylvia Henderson, and I'm calling this program's episode Co-working Connection. And, you know, if you're in business for yourself, or if you're the founder or the owner of a business, or if you're a CEO or an executive director of an organization, you know, it can be lonely. It can be lonely where you are. I know, because I am an entrepreneur, and I've also been in a company where I didn't have anybody else to talk to because everybody else was my employees. And so, you know, when you don't have anybody else to talk to who really understands what you're going through, in-person collaboration and in-person connection is really the key to our growth, to our success. And there are tons of platforms where we can do that, where we can connect and we can collaborate. And they're more prevalent today than ever before. So part of moving ideas to action, which is what I do, is getting out and experiencing the collaboration to be way more than just networking. So I've dedicated a segment of Idea Success TV to introduce you to people, to platforms, and to programs that you can engage with for a purposeful and profitable collaboration. Say that fast. So my hope is that you see something that speaks to you and that moves you to get out of your own head and to get into action with others. And so my guest today, it represents a co-working environment. Is Karen Kalantzis. Karen, welcome to Idea Success TV.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep. And Karen, I've met in, I know I said more than networking. I met Karen in a networking event, and she is with Launch Workplaces.
Correct.
And so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about co-working in general, and then really talk about Launch Workplaces. There are other co-working spaces, and you'll hear from other people in the months ahead, but now we're focused on Launch. Let me read a really brief bio from Karen, about Karen. Karen Kalantzis is the Operations and Community Manager for Launch Workplaces, a shared office environment. She's responsible for supporting the success of its members by connecting them with technical training and networking. Previously, she was the program coordinator and manager of the Silver Spring, Maryland Innovation Center, business incubator in Montgomery County, Maryland. Prior to that, she was CEO of Corporate Network Services, which is now Mainspring, an Inc. 5000 award-winning company. So 25 years in all these different work environments. Karen's uniquely qualified to share her experiences and explain how fellow entrepreneurs can choose the best home for their business. So she holds an MBA from George Washington University and a bachelor's in science. I hate using BS.
Yeah. Yeah.
In business from the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. Is that of Pennsylvania?
No.
Or Indiana University?
Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Currently, she's a color and makeup consultant with Color Me Beautiful and an experienced speaker on the topics of beauty, style, and image, as I sit here with my little IBM suit on here. So, Karen, co-working. I mean, just how did you even get involved with that concept and that idea to begin with?
Well, I first got introduced, I think, to kind of that concept when I was working for Montgomery County Department of Economic Development in the incubator program, because in a way, it's very similar.
True.
So I was there for over 2 years, and I was the programs coordinator, and I got to know the small businesses that were there, and I realized how much I loved working with them and how much I got like energy from working with all the businesses and helping them grow, and their successes felt like my success. So when it was time to find a new position, Launch actually contacted me, and I had known our director, Mark McMahon, for a while, and just everything fell into place. So I was able to take what I had done for the incubator program and bring that over to Launch Workplaces.
Okay, yeah, I guess the incubator would have given that kind of an insight, because not everybody really gets what this co-working business is all about. So kind of like talk about, so what goes on in a co-working space?
Sure. Well, at Launch Workplaces, we have 3 locations, first of all, one in Gaithersburg, Maryland, Rockville, Maryland, and Tysons Corner, Virginia. And the beauty of these kinds of environments is that it allows small businesses to get the right workspace that they need, and it sizes up or sizes down as they need it. So you could rent just a conference room for a meeting, or you could rent an office for 2 hours, or you can sit at a desk for an entire day, or you can rent a whole lock and key office for a year. So it's very flexible in that aspect.
Okay, so as a solo entrepreneur who has a home office, but I don't want clients coming to my house, I
Right.
could, is a membership or what?
Yeah. Well, either way, I mean, if you think that you'll be coming on a regular basis, yes, you could be a member, or you could just do a drop-in kind of a thing. But we do find that people think they're going to love working from home, but really there's a lot of distractions from home. Maybe they don't get as much work done as they had hoped, or maybe during the summer months when children are home
Yeah.
from school, they're not as productive, so they're looking for another place to land for a while. Also, there is that collaboration that happens in an environment like ours that you were alluding to. So if you're working from home, sometimes you feel very lonely, and you're only maybe looking at those 4 walls. But if you come to a place like Launch Workplaces, you meet other business owners, you run into them in the kitchen. We know we have a lot of events, so you can meet people there, and just it's a nice way to connect and get your work done.
So if I'm working, primarily from home, or I ought to ask this question too. So I know in my intro I mentioned sometimes there's CEOs of companies, or when you're at the top of something, or when you're the founder of a company, sometimes you can't really connect with your employees because they're employees. They're looking up to you as if you knew something. So you want to talk to other founders. Would that also be an environment for that kind of I need to get out and talk to somebody?
Oh, absolutely, because we have a lot of business owners that are at Launch Workplaces, and we are building a community there. We have a lot of opportunities, like I said, for connecting with people, whether it be business training classes like a Lunch and Learn, or specific events geared for a CEO level. So yes, it would be a good place to meet other CEOs and kind of bounce ideas off each other and try to solve problems together.
Okay, so I know when I've walked into different places, and I know I've been to the Launch in Gaithersburg, actually both Rockville and Gaithersburg. I walk in and I see offices, and I see people, and I'm thinking, I as an entrepreneur, I've got stuff to do. I don't have time to talk to other people. I want to hands down and get my work done, and so I see people really working on their stuff. How do you bring them together and get them to realize that, we said collaboration, you guys are all working on your own stuff. Come join, I don't know, an event or a group.
Well, there's a couple different ways. There's those serendipitous meetings that happen in the kitchen, just over
The
getting
water
coffee.
cooler.
Yep.
Okay.
The coffee machine's very popular. We also have a soda machine, so a lot of people, run into each other that way. Another thing that we do at Launch is we know our members and we get to know them, and so we are actively trying to connect people together. So I will, take somebody's hand basically and walk them down the hall and say, you need to talk to this person. So try to make introductions that way. We have a lot of last minute events, or like somebody's birthday, we bring in a cake. So, we say, hey, 2 o'clock, we're having cake, everybody come in the kitchen. So try to just have these small moments where people can connect.
Okay, that's great, because a lot of times, you provide the environment, but it takes some work.
It does.
To make that connection happen.
Yeah, it does.
So
that's what we're there for.
So how big is Launch? Is this like a big conglomerate that we're just a few offices here, or
It's local to the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. So we're owned by the Brick Companies, which is a 125-year-old business based in Edgewater, Maryland. And we're growing. We'll be adding new facilities in the coming year, which I can't say now,
Okay.
but we'll be adding more sites. So more and more businesses can come and work with us.
Cool. And just kind of so I'm noticing that there seems to be a trend in more and more, as it seems like as real estate gets more open in commercial buildings, I'm hearing about co-working more and more. What kinds of things would I need to think about if I'm considering coming into a co-working space? Are there different personalities? Are there different services that I would need to think what works for my business?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to do a tour and see how you connect with the culture and the decor. I know they're decorated differently, and you might something might resonate with you that you like or don't like. Some places are very modern and a lot of concrete and dark. You might not like that. Some other places that I've been in have crystal chandeliers or sparkly things, so that might appeal to you. Our launch in Gaithersburg in particular is very open and modern and brightly colored, and we have the added benefit of being at the lake at Rio in Gaithersburg, so we have beautiful scenery out our windows, and I think that really adds to the whole ambiance and the feeling. In addition to the decor, I think the amenities that are around the facility are important.
Okay.
So if you are somebody that likes to run out at lunch and do errands, you might want to have some stores by you, or if you're a big Starbucks person, you might want to be near Starbucks. Another factor to consider is it close to your house, or is it close to your kid's school, or is it close to where you work out? Close to something so that it'll make your life easier.
Yeah, you're not commuting. You're
Right.
not commuting like you would go to a company to your own shared workspace.
Yeah, hopefully that you find a location that is convenient.
Yeah.
And we have the benefit of having free parking, so that's another thing to look at. So we want to make
right, I hadn't thought about
make it
that.
easy. Yeah.
How do you deal with the well, okay, so I don't know if it is noisy, but I'm just thinking, one of the reasons why I like being in my home office is it's quiet. I don't have other people. That's sort of the negative and the positive. I don't
Yeah.
have other noises around me, other conversations. How do you deal with that, the ambiance of other noise?
In general, co-working, so there's co-working desks, which is an open area where people are sitting. In general, that is supposed to be more of a quiet area, but people do talk. So if you're somebody that has to have quiet, then we would recommend that you would get an office,
Okay.
because you can't guarantee that it's going to be totally quiet.
And there was something else I was going to ask related to the office. I guess I'll come back to that. So the ambiance is something to consider when I'm looking. Personality.
Right.
And is that dictated more by the owner, manager? I don't know what you call the person that actually runs the place. Do you set, like there's a launch in Rockville, a different ambiance than the launch in
Maybe
Gaithersburg?
the makeup of the members might add, to what the ambiance is. Some places maybe attract more technical people, and so, and other places might attract more, young startup kind of people. So that's another reason why it's important to go and just kind of see who your coworkers, your community might be.
Okay. What tip? That's for finding a place. What tips would you have for an entrepreneur who actually, okay, I'm going to be here now. I know other services other than room. I'll come back to that.
Okay.
What tips for, I've decided I'm going to be in a co-working space. How do I act? Is there etiquette involved? Is there are there norms for working in a co-working space?
Well, I would say, first of all, make it a priority that you will try to meet other people, because that's one of the benefits of being in a place like that. So I would say don't go in there and work and then
don't go with your blinders
on. But try to be open to talking to people and meeting people and saying hi in the kitchen, or I would say attend the events and get to know what resources there are around you. because we've heard all these fantastic stories about people that connect at launch workplaces. And you know, you have to make that effort to put yourself out there and talk to others. But we've had members find some people to be on their board of advisors. We've had people make connections that help them get funding for their business. We have people that are working together, so they're finding new clients within launch workplaces. So anything can happen in a co-working place, and you just have to be open to those opportunities.
I do like that you actually take somebody's hand and connect, because I'm thinking some entrepreneurs are introverts.
Yes.
And to just get out there and connect, even though you've come to a place, is still hard.
Exactly. Another thing about etiquette is trying to be quiet. So, I mean, it's not like a library quiet, but you know, you do have to be respectful for the other people around you. And so we have phone rooms where if you are going to be on a conference call or going to be doing a webinar or something like that, we suggest that you go into one of the phone rooms and just do your work in there for a little while, and then you can come back out when you're when you're off the phone.
I bet those phone rooms look different from the phone rooms I remember, which was the phone hanging on the wall, and you enclose the door.
Oh,
and
right.
pick up
Yeah.
the
No,
phone
that's a phone booth, right?
I know.
No, it's
They're
very
a little
nice.
different now.
Yeah, it's a nice modern room.
So when you come, do you have to bring? You know, I'm imagining lugging this box of stuff, or do you literally set up your own office? Do you bring the stuff you need for the day, or are there supplies available?
There's a few supplies, but most people are mobile workers. They're just got everything that they need in their briefcases. So they just come with their briefcase, sit down at a desk, and whatever they need is already with them. Certainly, if they need to borrow something, we'll be there to help them. We also have storage, like cabinets with locks. So if somebody wants to rent like a locker kind of a thing to put their things in, we can do that as well. When you get an office from us, you can decorate your office any way you want. You can do anything you want with it. It's yours. We provide the desks and the chairs. You can do anything you want. You lock it up, and it's safe.
Other capabilities. So do I have to get a space or a desk, or do you do? I know some places do mail service. Some places we'll answer your phone and forward it. I mean, what other things?
Yeah, we do that too. So we have a mail service. So if you're just starting out and you would like to have Washingtonian Boulevard be your business address, you can sign up with mail service for us, and your mail will come to our location, and then you can just come and pick it up at your convenience. We also have phone answering service. So again, to make yourself look bigger and more professional, you can have your phone number forwarded to us, and we have somebody answering the phones. So you're right; those are two good ways of entry-level ways to get your business kind of off the ground and looking more professional.
Okay.
Because that is a big key about co-working, is it gives you that professional environment, professional feeling.
Yeah.
So when you're having customers come and meet you, or you're
to my
meeting with
conference
vendors, you've got a real live conference room
Yeah.
with the big TV and all the multimedia that you need. So it does make you look higher level, more experienced.
And I actually heard from somebody who said that government contractor said they needed to have a Maryland address or a DC address or a Virginia address, and so they use a co-working space just for the address in the mail. Cool. Yeah, because that's one of the reasons I came out to a co-working space was, I don't want people in my office, and it does look impressive when I say, meet me in my conference room. So, yeah. Any other services? Do you have, say I need a website designed, or I need a graphic designer to do my brochures, I need printing. Is it a matter of connecting to people who do that business, or?
Yeah, we would try to connect you with other members or just other people that we know. Myself and my director, Mark, we're big networkers, so we have a whole, big, huge stack of business cards, and we can certainly make recommendations for those kind of services.
Okay.
But other amenities that we have, these are little small things, but I think they're super important. Like, for example, when you're a member of Launch Workplaces, you could join the Technology Council of Maryland. You can join the Gaithersburg Germantown Chamber of Commerce and the Rockville Chamber of Commerce at either free or very low rates. So we go out into the community and we try to develop these partnerships with other organizations that we can then share on to our members.
Okay.
So those are all benefits.
So sort of an organization behind getting kind of a group rate or a group presence.
Yeah.
And once you're a part of that group, you have access.
Exactly.
You got access through lunch. So what other things do you want to kind of either share with your story or talk about launch or brag, you know?
Well, a little bit about me, I think, might be of interest. So as you said, I did have a business of my own for 20 years, and we started our business in the basement of a townhouse.
Okay.
And then
Typical.
yeah, very typical. And then we went to the basement of a standalone house. But then our neighbors were unhappy that we had some cars coming in and out of, the cul-de-sac. And so we got one day this letter in the mail saying that we had to, cease and desist and we had to get out. And oh my gosh, it's talk about stress. So, even though we had built our basement out to have a company with, we had cubes, we had, all the power,
wow.
We had all the data drops and everything was perfectly set up, we had to leave. So we were forced then to go out into the commercial real estate world and find space. And, when you're just starting out, it's very scary. So we had to sign this very scary, 5-year lease where you have to put the house on the line for collateral and, what happens if we don't succeed, because we was early on in the business. So after going through that, and obviously we were successful, it all turned out okay, but it has made me realize how important these kinds of co-working and shared office environments are for small businesses, because it's really a great place to land, and it's a great place to get set up in your business, and we hope that you stay for a while. But
I was gonna say,
some
do
people,
stay
they're
or?
ready. Yeah,
Okay.
some people stay for years and years, but other people, they are ready to sign that 5-year lease. Maybe they want something bigger or more or very specific. But looking back, I wish that we had a place like this that we could have gone to instead of jumping right into that lease.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it is scary, man, and you've been through it, so that's kind of neat. That's good. You get where
I
where
get it.
they're
So
coming from.
and it's helpful to be able to go out into the community and talk about what it's like to have experienced all these different places to work. So when I look back over my career, I worked for Hewlett-Packard, so I worked in the big, huge company. I had my own business, so I went through all of those stages of working from home and then working, signing a lease. Then I went to the incubator, so I know what it's like to, apply for an incubator and be part of an incubator community. And then now I'm working in co-working. So pretty much I've done everything except buy my own building, which is
Next
maybe
step.
the last step of, your business's growth someday. So I think that makes me, gives me a good vision of what the options are for small businesses. The other thing I wanted to say about Launch, in that they brought me on specifically to help build the community there. So I did a lot of programming at the incubator where I was, and so I was happy to bring over some of those programs into Launch Workplaces. So I think that makes us unique, that we have these kinds of events. We have Angel Venture Forum. We just went through this whole training with them on how to apply for angel venture funds. We have, like I said, we have lunch and learns, we have parties, we have all these different wonderful programs to help businesses connect and grow. We also have a podcasting studio in our Gaithersburg office, which is another thing that sets us apart from other locations.
Yeah, that does.
So we're constantly looking for ways to help businesses get set up and get established and grow and be successful.
I think that's great, and especially the podcasting and that because it takes certain equipment. Well, to do it nicely, it takes equipment, to make that kind of an investment. That does set you apart. Cool. Well, we're about to finish. I told you, half hour goes fast. So, any last words for anybody thinking about? Oh man, is that a step I want to take?
Yeah, I would say look up launchworkplaces.com and go through the different facilities that we have, go through our different cities that we are available in,
Okay.
and call me, Karen Kalantzis, or go through the website and schedule a tour, or just come on by and take a look. It is good to take a tour and see what the facilities are, to see if you fit in, and I'm always happy to talk about co-working anytime.
Excellent.
I feel like it is a great option for small business.
Excellent. So thank you very much for being on Idea Success TV to talk about that.
Thank you so much.
And to share with us about launch workplaces. So, I appreciate you coming out. You had to travel here to the studio to do this interview. And
it was my pleasure.
So, sharing it with the viewers and with me. So, if you liked what you heard and saw in this episode, then there's more Idea Success TV programming at ideasuccess.tv. And we've got a large distribution network. This programming will go out to other online as well as broadcast programs, platforms. So I invite you to connect with me as soon as this program's over, while it's still on your mind, and so that you keep current with new programs that are coming out, and with resources and programming from my collaborative partners, because I'll let you know when things are happening, like when I find out about things that launch workplaces and with other partners, because it's in really communicating each other's materials and each other's information that we grow. So I'm all about getting ideas into action for profit and for purpose. And you've got ideas. My passion and my mission in life is to serve, to make your ideas your reality. So with that, thanks again, Karen.
Thank you.
And I invite you to make a great day. Thank you for watching Idea Success TV. Idea Success TV is a syndicated production of the Idea Success Network and Village Connector Media, the People's Prosperity Network. Permission to share, repost, and rebroadcast is freely given, provided it's done without charge of an access fee. If you have questions about this broadcast, or if you'd like to be a part of an upcoming segment, please contact us at Idea Success TV Contact. Thank you for listening and watching Idea Success TV.